there are huge lot of benefits of strength training, among which maybe after strength training strengthens your bone, it improves your joint health, ligament, it strengthens your ligament and tendon, it trains your nervous system. Again, it strains your cardiovascular system. All the hormonal environment of your body becomes very improved. So there are a lot of benefits of strength training. It improves your sleep quality and further which will reduce your stress. Your body and mind is connected to a thin thread. So if your body feels good, then your mind you will be feeling good at your mental level. So regular physical exercise can decrease your tension, elevate, stimulate your mood, improve self-esteem. The strength training basically improves your willpower, and it gives you a confidence. So it is a good idea for strength training. I recommend you should join a gym nearby, because in a gym you'll be getting a very good guidance how to do the exercises, how to use the equipments. There will be lot of different facilities available for working out. So it is good idea to join a gym nearby. But if that facility is not available to you, or you cannot manage time out of your busy schedule to join a gym, then at least you can do some exercises, free body weight exercises, where your body weight will be used as a resistance, external resistance. That type of exercise you can do in your home only, without any equipments, without the need of any equipment. And I will try to discuss over here a pre-planned demo schedule, which you can follow in your place, in your home. So this is the thing about strength training. So it need not to be so complex, very heavy lifting. It is not required basically. With your body weight, you can do lot of exercises. So for strength training, maybe this is a cycle designed by me after all my experiences and all my studies, that we should follow this cycle, and it is very safe to follow this cycle. If you follow this cycle, there will be very less injuries, and you'll be using the exercise optimally up to optimal level. So you can owe results, very good results from if you follow this cycle. Here, the first thing is warm up. So that day also we have discussed about warm up. Why warm up is required? Basically, warm up is required for two reasons. There are a lot of reasons, but the main prime reasons, there are two reasons. One is, first of all, it to circulate blood throughout the body evenly, we need warm up. And second is your joint mobilization, which is your joints should be mobilized before doing the exercise. So in warm up, we can do any sorts of cardiovascular activity, light to moderate way. In light to moderate way for very short duration of time, like running, jogging, spot jogging, or skipping, or anything like that, which is basically a cardio exercise. We can do for warm up, where it should be, the intensity level should be within light to moderate. Because if we do warm up exhaustively, then we'll not able to do the strength training properly. So we'll be in fatigue condition before doing the main exercises. So the warm up should be there. Then flexibility is that joint mobilization, where we'll be mobilizing our joint. We should be very particular and very much concerned about our shoulder joint and the lower back, the hip joint, because these are the two areas. These are the two main areas where generally injury happens. Lot of injury happens during exercise in lower back, hip joint, and the shoulder joint. Other joints are also important, but the prime focus of our flexibility stretching is our shoulder joint and the hip joint. Then we'll be going to our strength training schedule, where we'll be doing body weight exercises. A sequence is I have prepared a sequence for you. This you can follow this sequence, or you can add or subtract any exercises from this schedule, and you can practice it at your home, where we'll be doing strength training during this phase. And then again, if someone want to add abdominal exercises, core strengthening exercise. Then after strength training, you can directly go to abdominal strengthening exercise. Then after abdominal exercises, you should include some cardio activity. Like you can go for a walk, long walk out of your home, or you can, if you have treadmill or cycling in your home, then you can use that, or any free body weight cardio you can do. I'll show you one cardio designed by me for your as a demo, which you can follow, or you can include any other cardio activity for at least 15 to 20 minutes after strength training. Then you'll be feeling very good. This combination is very effective actually. And after that, cool down is also a prime part of our schedule workout cycle, where you will be cooling down after the cardio exercise. Your heart rate will be very high. So after that, cardio is very required. So for cool down, after cardio, in cool down, you should be doing maybe full body stretching. I generally recommend full body stretching, some flexibility stretching, so that the lactic acid deposited in your muscle cells, generated in your muscle cells, will flush out, and you will be getting cool down. So after that, our entire training cycle will end. So this is the basic cycle training system we will be following. So this is my suggestion, and you can the maintaining this cycle, you can add or remove any exercises. Like if you don't wish to add abs exercises, you can remove that, or if you can want to change the exercises inside the strength training session, then you can change it. But the basic cycle should be this. So according to this cycle, first the warm up should be of 5 to 10 minutes. Warm up should be 5 to 10 minutes. Here I am showing jumping jack. This exercise is called jumping jack, where you can in very slow pace, you have to jump and raise your hands above your head, and you should continue for 5 minutes. Maybe at beginning you will be exhausted at 3 minutes, then you leave it. If you are capable of doing 5 minutes, you can do 5 minutes. Then you can add time, and you can go to 10 minutes. There is no need to do after 10 minutes, because you will be very much exhausted. We don't want to exhaust you before the main workout. So maybe after that, we'll be doing flexibility, joint mobilization. So I'll be showing you a video of mine where I'm showing you the flexibility exercises that in this exercise, this is the both hand. You can just open up your chest and back muscle. This is for your shoulder. You can do alternate hand rise for your shoulder mobilization. This is me doing the exercise for you. And then the circular movement of your upper limbs. It is in clockwise and anti-clockwise, both sides you should do. Then we'll be doing hip rotation. This is called clockwise and anti-clockwise. Maybe you will start with five rounds of this, 5 round clockwise, 5 round anti-clockwise. Then you can go to 10 up to 10-15 rounds. You can do that. And then this is your both side bending. You will have to stretch your hands above your head. Your elbows will be straight, and you should be bending sidewise, both sides. Again, you can do it for 5 reps, and then again forward bending and backward bending. This is forward and backward bending. Here you should fix your eyes in your fist, in the middle of your fist, and you should travel through the whole range of motion along with your head, your body, upper torso. So this is for your neck. For neck region, you can do this. We don't recommend that circular movement, which we usually do. We nowadays recommend this because this is very safe, and this is very beneficial for spondylitis also. So up and down, then both sides. both sides. So you can do 5 a week, or after getting some experience, you can add rounds up to 10. You can do. Then again up and down, again up and down, and then both sides. You can bend slowly. Don't put lot of pressure over there. It's very soft and simply we have to do it. So this is the uh, flexibility workout for you. You can follow this flexibility workout or joint mobilization for 10 minutes. No, don't do it over 10 minutes, because 10 minutes is the time where you will be not getting so much of exhaustion. Then we will be proceeding to the workout schedule. Here are some body weight exercises which you can do it in your home only. So maybe first, the shoulder width push-ups. So push-ups, generally we think of push-ups. When we think of push-ups, we say that we cannot do, ladies cannot do. So there are actually improvised versions which everybody can follow. Not only ladies, but gents. If the gents cannot do the push-up, then he can do the modified way of push-up. I'll show you the how to do it. I made a video for you. So this is the body weight push-ups, where we'll be taking one elbow to the tip of our finger distance. Then we'll be doing the push-ups. During this push-ups, our back should be straight enough. Hips should be a little bit above our back, and we'll be doing the push-ups. We can do 10 to 15. We'll be starting with 10 push-ups, and slowly we can increase to 15. This is the second version. I will be showing you the second version. If you cannot do this version, then there is a modified version which you can do. Here, what you do, you stand on your knees and you can do the push-up. This is the partial push-up which a lady can do, or any gents who cannot do the full push-up. This is a half push-ups you can do, or you can just spread your legs. You can put pressure on your knees, and then you can do this partial push-ups. So for those who fails to do complete push-ups, they can do this partial push-ups. So so these are two versions of push-ups which you can include in your training, strength training, basically. So now it should be done. You should try to do 10 reps at initial stage, and you should add 1 to 2 reps at least 2 to 3 weeks after 2 to 3 weeks, and you should do till 15 reps. Then will be, if we initially, if we need some rest, or if we get exhaust or our breathing rate will go high, then we'll take a little bit of at least 30 seconds to 1 minute rest in between the exercises we can take, and then we'll move to free squat. So free squatting we can do. This is the free squatting. Your feet should be shoulder width apart, and you can hold it in front of your hands, or or you can hold it like this. Your hands should be resting on this three position. Any position you can choose, and your knees should not go too far away from your toes. So it should be in and around toes, and you should push your hip backward. You should put all the pressures on your back only, hip only. So like this, this is the squatting position. You can practice this. You can include this in your workout schedule. So this push squat thing, you will have to start with 10, say, and you will be adding 2 to 3 reps again after each 2 to 3 weeks, and again you will have to go to 15 reps. So again, if you feel tired, you can take 30 seconds to 1 minute rest in between next exercise, and then you should proceed to wide grip push-up. This is the same version, same push-up. The shoulder width push-up and the wide push-up. The difference is here your palms will be placed away from your shoulder. So these two versions hit different muscle groups. So these two are very beneficial exercises. If you cannot do, again, this can be modified, and in modified way you can do it. I'll show you in video how to do it. So this is shoulder width, beyond your shoulder width, and yeah, this is the normal white push-up, where your back will be straight, your hip will be slightly above your back, and you will be doing the, this is the modified. You can cross the legs, you can put your body pressure on your knees, and you can do, this is the modified one. And if you cannot do this, this is the third version, where you will be putting spreading out your knees, and then you can do the wide grip push-ups. All are effective, and you can do this, include this exercise in your daily workout schedule. So these two variations of push-ups will put a lot of pressure on your chest, back, shoulder muscles. Then again, you can take 30 seconds to 1 minute rest, and then during this rest period, you don't sit in a single place. You just roam around for maybe 30 seconds, and then again you start the next exercise. It is free lunges, free body weight lunges. So I will show you in video how to do the free body weight lunges. So here your right leg should be in front. You should put pressure on your back toe. You should bend your back knee, and your front knee will be on the place, and you will be lunging. So you can repeat it, or there is a second version. First you do one leg, then you do the other leg. The back knee should be pushed below to the ground, towards the ground. Your body should be straight enough. You should not bend forward. It should be straight enough. Then this is the second version, where you can do it alternately. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So this is the second version. Any person you can follow. If you like this version, you can do it like that, or the static version. Both versions you can do. So this is the lunges. So this again you have to do for you should start each leg for 10 reps, or you can do alternate way, 10 1 1 2 2 3 like that way. You can go to 10 reps. You can start with 10 reps, and you can add 1 to 2 reps each 2 to 3 weeks afterwards. And you should do, if you are starting any exercise, you are starting at 10 reps, you should do it till you don't feel fully comfortable. Then you can add another reps. Don't rush into this, because it may cause injury, ligamental injury, or your muscle may tear. So be cautious about this thing. And then again we'll be moving towards Hindu push-ups or boomers. This is called in English it's called boomers, and we call it Hindu push-ups. So I'll be showing you through the video how to do this Hindu push-up. It is a little bit tough. Initially you may avoid this exercise. After maybe working out for 1 month or 1.5 months, you can add this exercise. Here this is like push-ups only. One hand gap should be there in between your palms, and then you'll be putting your entire load on your toes, and you go backward. You come up, and then again go through the downward posture. So this is a very good exercise for your lower back, upper back, hip, glute muscles, shoulders, chest, whole upper body workout. It's a complex exercise, a compound exercise. So you can do it. It's very good, but initially I don't recommend it, because you need some experience. There you can do it in second version also, where you will putting the knees on the ground this way, and you go back. If you cannot come down, then you can go upward desperately. If you do from here, you can go directly to the back. So this is the second version where of doing the Hindu push-ups or boomers. So this is a very good exercise for your entire upper body. So you may be starting from starting from 10 reps, and you will be adding reps after 1.5 maybe 1 week, 2 week, or 3 weeks time. When you feel fully comfortable and confident that I can add reps, then only you should add another reps. So this Hindu push-ups, initially you skip it, but you try to incorporate it, you practice it, then it will be very fine. and it will be very beneficial. Then again, you can take 30 seconds to 1 minute of time rest in between the next exercise. And the next exercise, it is step up. Actually, for step up, you need a step. So maybe any box or any stepper or any your maybe the staircase in your in front of your home, that can be used for this exercise. I'll show you through video how to do this step ups. It's a very good exercise to burn calorie and also strengthen your leg muscles. So we'll be showing in the next slide, next video. So in the box, this is a stepper, basically a commercially available stepper, or you can use a box like that, wooden box. Here, from right, you start with right leg, and again your right leg goes back. The same leg, with the same leg, you have to step up, and again you will go down with the same leg. After doing 10 reps with the right leg, again you repeat with your left leg. So it will burn a huge lot of calorie, and it will strengthen your knee joints, ankle joints, calf muscle, your front thigh, back thigh, glute muscle. All these muscles will be worked out. So be cautious that you should not rush into this exercise. It should be slow and steady, in slow and steady pace, so that you don't slip down. If you slip, you will injure yourself. So this is the step up workout I have shown you. So after step up, again you should wait for 30 seconds to 1 minute. If you can do this exercise back to back, it is very good. But initially, if you don't have any physical practice of doing physical activity, then you should take 30 seconds to 1 minute gap in between the exercises. So this is a step up. You will be doing 10 reps each leg. The maximum reps is 10. So you can start it with 5 steps each side, 10 steps, and again you'll be adding 1 to 2 reps in 2 to 3 weeks when you feel comfortable. Then you can add reps, and finally you should do 10 reps each leg with each leg. So 20 steps in all together. So this is a step up. And then we'll be moving to diamond push-ups. Diamond push-ups puts pressure on your triceps basically. It's for your upper limb. So your arms will be strengthened by this push-ups. This is again a little bit advanced exercise, but I'm putting it in here because this is a very beneficial for your arms. So maybe in initial stage, you can skip Hindu push-ups and diamond push-ups and do other things. And slowly you will be adding Hindu push-ups and then diamond push-ups. So you can add exercises afterwards also. So in diamond push-ups, I'll show you through video how to do the diamond push-ups. You make a diamond with your fingers. Yeah, palms. You make a diamond with your palm. Then it is like general push-ups. Your wide apart. Your elbows should be wide apart and putting a lot of pressure on your arms. Whole body pressure will be on your arms. So you will be doing like that. And again, if you want to modify it, those who cannot do the full push-ups, you can do the partial way. Partial way for ladies and other who cannot do it. There are 3 versions. One is normal version. One is your toe are crossed, and third one is you can spread your legs, spread your knees, and you can do the same thing. Obviously, the second and third version will put less pressure on your arms, but again, it is beneficial for your toning up your arms and strengthening of your arms. So this is the diamond push-ups. So if you closely observe, we are putting lot of exercise for legs, and in between we are putting some exercise for the upper body. So it is alternate way. One is for your upper body. Shoulder width push-ups is for upper body, then lower body free squat, then upper body, then lower body, then upper body, then lower body. So in this sequence, what happens while you are working out your upper body, your lower body will be at rest. Again, when you are doing your lower body workout, then your upper body will be at rest. So like this way, blood flows to both the regions. Your blood flow will be swinging to upper body and lower body. So this is a very good effect on your body. It puts very good effect on your body, calorie burning wise, or strengthening of your joints or your muscle groups. So now the last exercise is your calf rise. Generally, in all training regime, we generally neglect our calf muscle, but it is a very vital part of your body, and it is a very vital part of your fitness regime, because the calf is the place where we put from our childhood we put the pressure over our calf to work. So this is the part which will be strengthened in regular way, regular workout, and the return blood to your heart. It is pumped by the your cuffs. Cuff is called the second heart. So we should be very particular in doing cuff workout. So I'll be showing you through video how to do the cuff workout. It's nothing, it's simple exercises. It is also a simple exercise where you have to stand. This is for calf. So this is the calf muscle, and you'll be standing spread your legs, your shoulder width, the gaps will be shoulder width, and you'll be just doing this movement for your calf muscles, and your calf muscles will be work out like this. So slow and steady movement. You don't rush into the exercise. So this exercise is for calf muscle. Again you'll be doing 15 reps. From the very beginning you can do 15 reps. After 2-3 weeks you'll feel that you are not putting enough pressure over your calves, so you can be adding more reps. You can go to 20, 25, 30 reps, but I don't suggest to go beyond 30 reps. After that you can put some weight on your hand, like anything available in your household. You can grab that one and then do the calf workout. So this is the basic workout schedule. It is a demo workout schedule. You can change the exercises, or you can include advanced level exercise. I have shown you the basic simple exercises which you can follow in your workout. So maybe you can change the exercises afterwards, but initially you should follow this. And again, I am telling you, you should remove Hindu push-ups and diamond push-ups initially, till you are not comfortable. You are feeling not comfortable, and you are not comfortable. You are not feeling strong. The wide shoulder width push-ups will strengthen your upper body. The legs workout will strengthen your legs. After that, you can slowly add Hindu push-ups and diamond push-ups, and it requires a little bit of practice also. So after maybe 1.5 months, you can add those 2 exercises. So this is the basic training schedule which I have designed for you. So now I want to discuss with you whether till now what I have shown you is it understandable? Do you have any question, any queries regarding this workout schedule and strength training? So anybody having any question? If anyone wants to put some question forward, or may want to add something to my speech, then you can ask.
Actually, sometimes there is an stretching in muscles.
Yeah.
And sometimes somebody says that the blood flow in that region becomes slow. What one can do?
Yeah, sir, please tell.
What one can do, because there are sometimes stretching in the muscles and swelling is there.
Swelling is there, yeah. Obviously, it may be there. Means, so the thing is, there are 2 things. In strength training, you will be strengthening your muscle. So while doing strength training, it is desired that blood flows to that area. The blood circulation of that particular muscle should increase. But for stretching, cramps may come if you are not doing it regularly. Once you have proven you have tried a stretching, the muscle may catch up. So to mobilize this, the warm up and the flexibility exercise before doing the stretching or main workout is very essential. If you do very good warm up, then this thing will not happen. Okay, thank you, sir. So any other point to put forward? Maybe inbox there are some questions. What is the ideal time to take multivitamin supplement, whether in the evening or morning? Somebody put a question, Nahak. So, sir, for your question, is best time to take. It is suggestible time to take multivitamins in the after breakfast or after lunch. We don't suggest. Sometimes doctors suggest it in the evening hours, but generally we tell that you should take multivitamins after breakfast or after lunch. So next, what kind of food should we take in morning? See, morning is a very good time to load your body with all the vital nutrients. Like you can add some carbohydrate, you can add some protein, you can add some fruits and vegetables at that time. You can have eggs, you can have oatmeals, you can have maybe 2-3 slices of brown breads. You can have a green tea in the morning hours, in the breakfast. It's a very good. There are a lot of things you can put in, but the prime focus of morning breakfast is to load your body with as much as you can, the multivitamins, proteins, carbohydrate. So that your body will be ready for the challenges to be coming in the whole day. So what kind of food we should take in the morning? Same thing. Another question: is there any exercise to increase the height of a person? Okay, this is a very good question. I generally get this question everywhere. Height is a genetical thing. We cannot increase your bone structure after an age. It is 18 up to 18 to 20, 21, 22. Till 22, your bone will increase, but after that we cannot increase. But again, due to some ailment or due to some improper functioning of your glands, if it is you are stuck in your height, then only we can improve it through exercise. But if it is for other reason, then we cannot do it, because height is basically dominant by the genetic factor. Again, if we have reached plateau, what kind of exercises we should be doing? See, the main thing is intensity. The question is very good question. Plateau will be there. What kind of exercise you do, plateau will be there. To break the plateau, we need variations. We need variations, and we should. There are 3-4 components where we can change the variation. Like the weight loading is the one thing where we can change the. We can get a variation. We can add weights, and then again we can reduce the rest time in between 2 exercises, or in between we can do back-to-back exercises. We can do back-to-back exercises through which we can increase the intensity. Fixed period of time, maximum volume of exercise we can do. That is another technique of increasing the intensity. Then, hello, yeah, for Sama sir, you want to some question?
Yeah, this was basically regarding the cervical.
Which one, sir?
What to do with cervical?
Spondylosis.
Spondylitis and cervical, yes.
Yeah, cervical. For cervical, there are some restrictions in your workout. You should not those exercises would puts pressure on your cervical region. You should avoid. First thing, we are having alternative exercises. For that, you have to take advice of some experts, or you should do the workout in the guidance of some experts, because we should avoid some exercises and we should do some exercises. And I have shown you the flexibility stretching before the exercise, no? The head, neck up and down, both side. That is very good for your spondylitis. If you don't have spondylitis, you start doing it, you'll never have it. And again, if you are having spondylitis, there are some exercises like you put your palm on your forehead and you give opposite pressure, and then sidewise, then backwise. This is a very good exercise for spondylitis. There are some exercises which you have to do in regular basis. That will reduce your spondylitis problem. And again, for spondylitis, I suggest you, without talking to an expert or without the guidance of an expert, you don't do it, because it will be complex. Then you will be feeling more pain afterwards.
Hello.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. Bhaskar
Yes,
sir,
sir.
usually
sir.
there is a one thumb rule that any type of lumbar or cervical issue, either it is a cervical spondylitis, lumbar spondylitis, or thoracic, forward bending is prevented.
See, forward bending, straight way we cannot do forward bending, but with it we can do it. Like with a inclined table.
It is prevented. It is restricted, sir. So they do not suggest any forward bending exercises.
We also don't, I support that point. Because we also don't recommend forward bending for those people who are having those ailments. But again, modified weight we can do it. Modified weight means we are putting the pressure on that cervical region or lumbar region. We can do the exercise with getting some support with other equipments.
Yeah, we can have support muscle strengthening exercises.
Yeah, we can do it. And the neck up and down exercise, it is for strengthening of your neck region muscle only. I have shown you in a video. So maybe if it's plateau, again we are talking of plateau. Plateau packing is a very tough job, and for plateau the thumb rule, my main rule is be consistent, be persistent with your workout schedule and your diet and lifestyle. That is the only way to break plateau. You have to be consistent. You will have to be more precise. Then muscle spasm happens all at times, despite all precautions. What to do then? See, muscle spasm, general muscle spasm. I'm not talking of some ailment-related muscle spasm, but in general muscle spasm, it will happen because unused muscles, because of unused muscles and underlying your muscle is not warm up properly. Due to that, this muscle spasm may happen. So I recommend you to thoroughly, if you are having this problem, facial problem of getting muscle spasm, then you should put more pressure on warm up and flexibility exercises. Slowly it will go off. What precautions we should be taken after running exercise? So during running exercise, you should take some precautions. After running exercise, you should take some precautions. During running exercise, you should observe that what shoes is the main prime factor which causes lot of injuries in your ankle and lower limb. So you should select a very good shoe for running, first thing, and you should look into it that it should not be 2 years old. It should be for running purpose. You should use a new shoe which is 0 to 2 years old, not more than that. If you are not using it also, you don't wear it for while running. First thing. Second thing, you should look into it that you are not putting lot of pressure on your heels. The prime pressure should be while running. The total pressure should be in your toes mainly. The heel will support, but you don't tap your heel. That will cause lot of problems. And then again, during running, before running also, you should do a proper warm up, and after running also, you should do a proper cool down. That is required. So this is the basic guidelines, simple guidelines for running. What to do with survival? I don't get this question actually. Again, shall we take before exercise light food? Yeah, again, rule is same. If you're having heavy food, after 2 to 3 hours, you should work out any exercise. If it is like snacks, then you can have it 45 minutes to 1 hour before. Any special exercise to reduce tummy? Yeah, obviously, everybody nowadays it's a very reducing tummy is a very tough job because of our lifestyle. So reducing tummy, it is more of a lifestyle than your diet pattern than exercise. Yes, obviously we are having 4 exercises which will strengthen your core muscles. With the help of this strengthened core muscle, you can do advanced exercises and you will not get injured. But again, after doing thousands of abs exercises and core exercises, your tummy will not reduce because there are 2 basic reasons why tummy you cannot hit the fat under your skin with all the tummy exercises. It will hit your muscles inside the specs inside your abdominal, but you cannot hit the adipose cell in your below your this skin. So for tummy reducing, first is your diet pattern. You should be very careful about your diet pattern. You should have a curtail designed diet schedule to follow for tummy reduction. And again, you will have to do core exercises because it tones your muscles inside your stomach. So the posture will be good while you are standing. Your posture will be good. Your body will be well balanced, and that way you will get advantage in tummy reduction. But the tummy reduction again, it's very dependent on your diet pattern. Then another question, sir, how to fix it says tendonitis, okay, and viscous vein problem. Is there any specific stretching exercise? Yes, there are stretching exercises, but you take a expert guide with you because these are the specialized exercise. If you don't do it in perfect way, it will not give you any results. By watching a YouTube video, don't try to do this exercise. If you are trying to if you are having some ailments or if you are having some problems with your physiology, you just go to an expert person. You are having no other way. Don't try to treat yourself. Don't try to search in Google and treat yourself, because there are some practical things, small things which are very important while guiding a person with some health related issues. So I highly recommend to take guidance of someone, and then it can be treated. There are stretchings. There are a lot of exercises for viscous vein and this tendonitis. Is there any exercise to treat sinus? Sir, see, sinus sneezing, sinus and sneezing problem. There are a lot of things in yoga, basically pranayama and yoga. It can be treated in our style of exercise in strength training. Our base topic in strength training, we don't have such we can treat muscle related things, but again sinus and all we cannot treat. But again, weight training and strength training will give you some support in handling your this issue. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Very nice explain. Sir, empty stomach workout is advisable. Can take liquid in between. See, this is a very good question. Empty stomach workout. See, straightly speaking, empty stomach workout burns huge lot of calorie. It's beneficial for fat reduction, but we don't recommend it because maybe there are some health challenges you will have to face. If you are not accustomed to it, then you may feel dizziness, or you may fall during workout. There are a lot of complications may come. So we suggest at least you should have some light food 45 minutes to 1 hour before. Otherwise, empty stomach, you don't do exercise, it's not healthy at all. But some people do it for as they get advanced in training, maybe from 1 year or 1.5 years, they are doing strength training. Then they do cardio exercises empty stomach, but it is not advisable because in beginning it will cause lot of problems, complexity in your workout schedule, and maybe some permanent disability may come in your body. Morning yoga, evening workout is okay. Yeah, I suggest the yoga and the strength training are both in opposite direction. In yoga, your metabolic rate decreases. In exercise, your metabolic rate increases. In yoga, your oxygen demand decreases. In strength training, your oxygen demand increases. In yoga, your metabolic rate decreases. In exercise, strength training, your metabolic rate increases. Both are the opposite in the opposite direction. So if you put both together, it will give you very good fitness level. But you have to again manage it. You have to manage it. Maybe 3 days, 2 days you can do, or what you have told, no, in morning and evening you can do. There is no harm in it. Okay, then maybe any other question, any other issues till now what we have discussed. Maybe anybody wants to know something or put something forward, because I want to discuss it, because 3 to 4 days is very less time to talk. These are the very vast subjects. I have tried to compact it and put it in a small place to give you an idea. And basically, I want to inspire all of you. At least from this, my goal is to that one person, if one person is excited and he starts doing physical exercise from this 4 days talk, then it is my success. So I want you to talk. Sama sir, you want to tell something, no?
Normally, at the age of 40 or above, lower back pain is usual.
Yeah, sir.
Lower back pain, and when sometimes it becomes really severe. What to do with
Yes,
that?
sir. Yes, sir.
But-
Actually, it happens due to okay. Please, sir. Please. Okay. So it happens for two reasons. Basically, one is your core muscle, your abdominal muscle is weak. Due to that, while sitting, while walking, while lifting any a bucket in your house or anything, any day-to-day life activity, you put lot of pressure on your lower back fibers, spinal erectors. So these spinal erectors wants out, or it fails to support your spinal cord. So the pain, in spinal cord, it put pressure on your nerves. So the pain appears. This is a degradative means pain. So if you don't have any ailment, other ailment like slip disc or cervical or lumbar spondylitis or any medical related things, then this pain will go off if you try to strengthen your core muscles, abdominal muscle and lower back fibers. For that, there are a lot of exercises are there to strengthen your abdominal muscles. First, you have to start working out your abdominal muscle. When your abdominal muscle will be strengthened, then it will take some load of your lower back fibers. Then you will get relief. And then if you keep on doing this core exercises, then slowly your lower back fibers, spinal erectors will be strong enough to take the load, and the total load of the body will be shared by the abdominal muscle and the lower back fibers. So your pain will go.
Thank you, sir. You have really given a sutra how to cover it.
Hello. Bhaskar sir, can you hear me? Hello.
It's okay.
Hello.
Sir.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. I'm listening.
Yeah. Sir, this with reference to the stress, no?
Yeah.
We usually are the freeze over here, and we have to do a lot of sitting kind of activity and standing kind of activity. So particularly the kind of physical activity we involved into it, the respective group of muscles we have to strengthen. So if you are sitting for like
Obviously.
as you suggested, if you are sitting for too long, then you have to strengthen the abdominal muscle, the back muscle. No, if you are to working on computer, no, you have to strengthen your neck muscles. And so as per our work activity, we have to recognize which part of our body is much in demand. As a trainer, when I used to conduct the training program for the whole day, I have to stand. So I have already particularly given my attention to the leg muscles. So all the calf muscle, quadricep, hamstring, no, you have to strengthen that part. So you do not get a stress on yourself. That is what is one thing I would like to
Yeah,
share
yeah,
with
that's
you.
a very good point. That's a very good point. And I want to add to it. See, we don't. Obviously, we have to give more focus on the activity we are involved. We have to give more focus on those muscles, strengthening of those muscles. But again, we always suggest a balanced workout where every muscle should be strengthened. Those muscles you are not using also, those muscles also you have to work out, because our body works in a symmetric. The other muscles also help in that muscle also working on. Means we cannot do isolation movement. We cannot do a single muscle will not do a single work. So like
Yes,
you have told, as you have told, while standing, not only our legs muscle, our lower back fibers, glute muscle, our spinal cord, our shoulders is also taking some helping it. Our core muscles are also getting the balance. It provides the balance to stand still. So we have to work out our abs muscles also, same equal importance, which should give to our all the muscles, so that maybe
so
for
we have
particular
to.
in-
What I
yeah,
wanted to convey, sir, you have to keep a holistic view, a whole body you need to work out, but then
yeah,
focus should be there, like
yes,
as
yes,
a
yes, somewhat,
occupational hazard. No, as a occupational hazard, we say that you're going to use particular muscle too frequently, and if you
yeah,
don't take care of those area, no, those focus
extra
on
care
those
of it,
area,
yeah, that,
so you may
yeah,
get into the muscular injury and you may develop further complications. So
yes, sir.
whatever related for work related activity you are performing, you have to give focus on those area. But you, as you suggested, you have to take care of whole body. You have to
Whole,
take it. True, sir.
yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. This is a very good point you have forwarded. And any other queries, any other questions? Anybody has any doubts, or anybody
Hello.
want to add something to me?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Are you
Yes.
getting me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sir, I am doing exercise daily, taking proper diet also. But to get the better physique, whenever I am pushing my body hard, I am losing my weight. I don't want to lose the weight. So, what kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
exercise should I
yeah.
prefer?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. Actually, our body composition, no, our body weight. We should check our body composition, because there are mainly four things which will affect our body weight. One is our muscle weight, one is our bone weight, one is our water weight, one is our fat weight. So it is desired that we should lose fat and we should gain other three. Means we should gain muscle weight, we should gain fat weight, water weight. Okay, water weight should be the same. It is not good advice to gain lot of more water weight, but at least bone weight and muscle weight we should gain. If you are having 10% or 12% body fat and you are of 100 kg, then I have no issues, because uh, that is your muscle weight. Basically, bodybuilders, they have a huge lot of body weight, but their muscle fat percentage is 5% or 6%. So that is also not healthy. I am not recommending that also. But again, uh, which part you have lost, you have to check it. You have to properly analyze. Actually, we suggest every 45 days you should do a BCA. There are BCA machines available. Body composition. It is. I don't go to the point that whether it is wrong or right. But if you are measuring your BCA in same machine, you'll get to know what component is coming down, what component is going up. So it needs close observation about what is happening in your body, and then again we have to consult. We will have to sit with you and check your diet, your lifestyle. Small things makes lot of difference in losing weight and gaining weight. So there are a lot of techniques, dietary techniques, by which you can lose fat and gain weight, and again you can lose muscle mass and gain fat, or you can keep same fat level and increase muscle. So there are a lot of different techniques, dietary techniques and workout techniques. Workout also there are a lot of techniques by which we can increase muscle mass and lose fat, or we can increase our weight and lose fat. So this needs close over the table sitting conversation with you. So maybe, sir, I don't know where from you are. You can talk to some expert, actually someone who is very experienced in this line. He will guide you. He will guide you because there are available techniques for your problem. Yeah, not okay. Please suggest some exercises in between two classes. I mean, to relax, cool down, intensity. Instantaneously. See, there are IRT in yoga and pranayama. There are some deep relaxation techniques, instantaneous relaxation techniques are there. I have not included those things in my syllabus because the time is very less, and maybe it's a vast subject. So if you talk to someone experienced in yoga and pranayama, they can suggest you IRT. There is this thing called IRT, instant relaxation technique, which is very effective. So you can learn that and you can practice it. Then again, one question is there. I think it was for the previous session. Okay, attendance in how to check that water, fat, muscle, bone weight. Okay, how to check that water, fat, muscle, bone weight. See, by only that measuring scale we are having, we cannot tell that how much water weight is there, how much fat weight is there. Specialized machines are available nowadays. It is in the market. It is called BCM machine, body composition analysis machine, analyzer. So body composition analyzer, you have to maybe a gym near you, they are having this. You request them that please, I will be paying you. You just get me my BCA report. So they will give you. Or maybe you can nowadays handheld BCA machines are also available at I think 2,000 to 3,000 rupees. So you can, if you are so interested to know these things, then you can purchase one. Sir, please say one exercise for our eyes so that make it fit. See, there are eye exercises available in yoga and meditation. Prataka is one of the very good exercise, but it takes time and you have to practice it regular way. So better over this platform, I cannot teach you. Maybe if you are in Guwahati, you can contact me. I can give you the procedure how to do Prataka or other eye exercises. Otherwise, you have to talk to a experienced yoga person who can give you the procedure. So anyone want to put forward some points or anything, or else maybe time is also running out. So maybe I'll proceed to my ending of my presentation, today's presentation. Should I move to my further presentation, or anyone have any question, any doubts? Because it's the last class, so I want to give some time answering your doubts and queries and inspiring you to at least start some physical activity. Okay, then again I am returning back to my presentation. So now, till now, we have learned that warm up is very essential. You can do any sort of warm up. You can jog on the spot, or you can go out for a light to moderate jogging, or you can do skipping, or you can do jumping jack. I have suggested jumping jack because it is a convenient thing. And then again, flexibility, joint mobilization. I have shown you the myself doing the joint mobilization. The two joints are very important. One is shoulder joint and the hip joint. So you should properly mobilize these two joints, and other joints also important. But for 2-3 exercises, you should do for shoulder joint and the hip joint. Again, the workout schedule. This is a demo workout schedule. It is not mandatory that you should follow this one. And from the very beginning, you should follow all the things. It's not like that. You can choose exercises from here, or you can add, or you can subtract anything from here. You make your own schedule, or you can follow this schedule plainly. So here, first is shoulder with push-ups, then free squatter, then wide grip push-ups, lunges, Hindu push-ups or boomers, step up, diamond push-ups, and calf rise. So these are the exercises from for your different body parts, involving all your body parts. So these exercises you try to do back to back. First, at starting, you should take 30 seconds to 1 minute gap in between the exercises. But afterwards, with due time, maybe within 1 to 2 to 3 weeks, you should reduce the time in between the exercises. You should try to do it back to back as far as you can. Maybe after some time, you can do it without any rest. Without taking any rest, you can do it back to back. So this, if you can do from A to H back to back, then that makes one round actually. That makes one round, and like that you have to do 3 rounds. You have to do 3 rounds. Again, slowly you proceed to 3 rounds. First, you try to do back to back 2 rounds, and then you proceed to 3 rounds. So during in between these 2 rounds, maybe round 1 you have finished A to H completely, then you can take 2 to 3 minutes rest. Again, you start A to H, you can take 2 to 3 minutes rest. Then you can do again full set of exercises back to back. So this is the procedure to do these exercises. Again, cardio. Maybe what is your favorite cardio? You can do sport jogging. I've suggested here sport jogging, jumping jack, and mountain climb. This is after workout, after strength training cardio. It is not for warm up. It is for effective cardio for fat extraction and overall fitness, lung capacity development. This is a demo thing I am showing you. You can go to walk 2-3 kilometers or jog in your front lawns, or you can do skipping, intensive skipping, or you can do anything. But I have suggested this is a special combination of sport jogging, jumping jack, and mountain climb. It is a very good cardio. Without any help of any equipment, you can do it. And after that, full body stretching. So maybe I have the video of jumping jack, this cardio, body weight cardio. I can show you. I have the video, I think.
Sir, do you have video of full body stretching?
Yeah, no video for full body stretching. I have got pictures of full body stretching. I'll show you what I recommend. These are the full body stretching again. Yeah, I have got the video. I've got the video, but afterwards I'll show you. Maybe first I want to show you the cardio thing, the jumping jack and mountain climb. This one. So is it visible? Is this visible? Everybody is seeing this? Everybody can see this? Is it visible?
No.
Hello?
No, sir.
No. It is not visible.
No, not visible. Okay. I'll try to show you. I'll try to show you.
Share the screen.
Present screen. I should go to present screen now. Now I think it's visible. Now it is visible. Now it is visible.
Yes.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now visible. So this is spot jogging. You jog. You start with 30 seconds. You can increase afterward. Immediately you can start jumping jack. This is jumping jack, and again immediately you can do mountain climb. Mountain climb, you have to get down. You stand like this, and your legs should be thrown backward. This is the jump mountain climb. So these 3 exercises you can do back to back for cardio session. This is an aerobic exercise basically for reducing fat and overall fitness. So this is the thing I want to show you, which can be added to your routine after strength training. You can do this. So this is the suggested thing. and then we'll come to full body stretching after the cardio. See, this is we have completed this full talk. Then again we go to the this one cycle. We have done. If you want to add abs workout, you can do any abs workout because all the abs workout are good. You don't have to do any specialized exercise. You lie down on the floor and do abs practice or leg rise. That is very good. And if you want to do add another exercise, you can do planks. That is a static exercise and very safe exercise. So these three exercises are enough for abs exercise. Then you do cardio, that jumping jack, mountain climb, and sport jogging. Combination of three exercises. That is cardio. I suggested you can add any cardio and cool down. So during cool down, I want to show you basic different stretching exercises for different body parts. Like this is seated forward stretch. This is for your back, glute, and hamstring, and calf muscle, and your upper back. So you can do this exercise. Then both sides stretch, where you will be spreading one leg outward, one leg you bend, and with both hands you try to stretch forward. In this stretching also, you can do the stretching as far as you can. Don't immediately stretch yourself. Don't put over pressure. Otherwise, you will be getting injured. So these two exercises after doing cardio, you can do this full body stretching. Then this supine alternate leg pull, where you will be lying down supine position. You catch one knee, you pull it towards your chest, and your other leg will be spread, and you hold it for say 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Again release, again the other knee, and after alternately doing two times, then you can again pull both the knees. You hold it with your both palms, and you pull it towards your chest and hold it at this position for at least 30 seconds, 15 to 30 seconds. Then we move down to cobra stretching, which is Bhujangasana. In yoga, we do Bhujangasana. It's similar posture. This cobra stretching, you can do this. This is very good for lower back abdomen region. And then again, this is a standing stretching for chest. You stand vertically. You just make a fist in backside of your body, and you without bending forward, you just try to raise your hand backward as far as you can. You stretch it and hold it in the maximum possible position. You hold it for at least 15 to 30 seconds. This will give a nice and very good stretch on your chest muscle. And then this is a back stretching, where you will be bending your one arm and it is putting it the palm on the back side. You are holding your elbow and you are stretching to right side first and then left side. While stretching the other side, you have to put your other hand in the middle and you have to catch the elbow with the other. So this is the sixth stretching, and this is the last stretching for shoulders. You have to upward and backward. Your hands should be up and back. You don't loosen your elbows. You stretch your elbows upward and then backward. You go as far as you can and hold it there for 15 to 30 minutes. 15 to 30 seconds. So these are the stretchings you can do after workout. It will push up your lactic acid position in your muscle cells, plus up your lactic acid, and it will be a very good cool down, and it will enhance your flexibility also. So things you can do. First one is forward stretch. Second one is side stretch. Then alternate leg pull, both leg pull. You can do both, and then cobra stretching, and then switch stretching, back stretching, and cobra stretching. So these are the stretching. I have got a video of it. I have done it for you. Just take a look, like, so that you can understand it better in better way. So this is a forward stretching. Your legs should be locked, back should be straight enough. You catch your thumb finger of the toe, and your head should be dropped, and hold it for a duration of 15 to 30 seconds. Then again, you turn your leg, you bend the other leg, and both arms to this side. And try to drop your head and try to be in this position for 15 to 30 seconds initially. Then again, at the other side,
Hello,
try to touch the toe. Yeah.
sir. I think Rashmita ma'am's audio is open. Right. Okay, now it's fine.
Okay, audio is not coming.
No, echoing was
Is it
happening.
coming now? Yeah. Now. Okay. Now this is a in supine position, alternate knee pull. You pull the knee towards your leg, put some pressure. Don't pull it so hard. Some pressure, and you be get in this position for 15 to 30 seconds, and release it. Again, you should pull both the knees. Both the knees. You catch the knees below the knees. Join your fingers and pull it towards your chest. You hold it. It's very comfortable position, stretching for your lower back. Now the cobra stretching. You place your head and palm in your rib cage, by the side of your rib cage, and head in the floor. Legs stretch out, and try to connect the belly button to the floor. You hold it in this position for 15 to 30 seconds. Again, come down and rest on your forehead. Then the standing posture. There are three standing posture stretchings for your chest. You make a fist like that, like this, and then elbow straight, downward and backward. Hold it. Don't lean forward. As far as you can, you try to push the hands backward and be in that position for 15 to 30 seconds initially. Then again, this is shoulder. Upward, stretch your elbows, and backward, hold it. Hold it for at least 15 to 30 seconds. This is for your shoulders. It gives good stretch to your shoulder muscles. And then back stretch. You bend your arm, you hold the elbow, and turn this way, sidewise. Hold it there for 15 seconds, and then come back to the middle position. Again, other hand, you bend it, you catch it in the elbow, and stretch it that way. You will feel a very good stretch on your sides and back, upper back, basically. So this is the stretching after workout stretching. So already I have shown you what I have for the today. Now maybe we can put forward some questions, maybe some ideas or some additions to this. Anybody can put some new things, may add something to this, or you may put forward some questions.
Sir, you are doing so nicely, very nicely. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Cheek fat. There's a very good question. How to reduce cheek fat? Please suggest some exercises. See, if your fat percentage drop, your fat percentage coming near to 20%, your body fat below 20%, up to 15%, your cheek will automatically be reduced. But if you are having double chin, there are some exercises you can do. The best way I generally suggest low sugar chewing gum. You can have chewing gums, maybe 1 to 2 chewing gums in a day. You can chew it. This is very good exercise for your jaws. And there are some you will find in YouTube videos. There are a lot of exercises they are coming up with for jaws. I don't know whether these are fruitful, but if your fat, I am very sure about it. If your fat percentage drops below 20 and nearing 15, your face will be your chin will be automatically broken. So chick fat that is there. You can do some exercises, and again you have to reduce in calorie intake. You should avoid high calorie foods, and you should depend on whole grain foods and vegetables and fruits. Sir, most of the time it seems a person is not fat, but tummy comes out. Yeah, that's a great question actually. Comes out. How to control it? See, this happens for, as far my experience goes, it happens for 2 or 3 reasons. First thing is, at one instance of time, you are indulged in bulk eating in your life. In some time, you have indulged in bulk eating at a time. At a time, eating huge lot of food. So this makes your stomach grow larger. So this thing happens. You cannot touch the skin, fat below your skin, but your it is bulging up. Your tummy is bulging up. So this is one thing. And another thing is maybe internal the fluid inside our stomach, the internal fluid that becomes more secreted more. If you don't have any ailment, then this can be reduced, but it takes a lot of time and a lot of practice. It's very tough actually to reduce tummy without fat. So you should be regularly in strict diet. I suggest you to incorporate low sodium diet, because sodium retains water weight, and blotting, it causes blotting. So I suggest you to reduce your sodium intake, first thing. Second thing, you should do abdominal muscle toning exercises like crunches, leg rise, planks, and a lot of variations are there. It should be regularly done. It will take, but I'll tell you, it will take a huge amount of time to reduce your this bulging out tummy. So you should be starting from today, and it will take maybe 6 months, 8 months, or 12 months time to reduce your fat, to get your tummy flat. So if you are having that problem, it's high time to start workout, basically whole body workout and your core muscle workout, and you should watch out your diet. The sodium rich diet you should avoid. Please suggest the exercise to reduce tummy. Again, tummy fat, it's totally dependent on your diet. They say 70% is diet, 30% is exercise. I say 100% of it. 100% of your exercise, 100% of your diet. You should follow 100%. You should be following diet and 100% workout, and it will reduce. This fasting is good to reduce weight. It is an inbox question. It's also a good question. See, there are concepts coming. IFT, like IFT, intermittent fasting. Fasting is good. Fasting is there in our tradition. But again, overdoing anything is bad. And our digestive system is designed for food. So maybe those concepts, IFT and all, we can follow for a short period of time, like crash course. We can do it. But again, for long duration of time or for throughout our lifetime, we cannot do. So the best way to modify your lifestyle, eating habit, you should get some knowledge about how to eat. What is the type of foods don't gain weight, fat. So for that, you have to be in studying those things, and please introduce some sort of exercise in your daily life so that you can reduce tummy fat, and overall you'll be fit. Yes, fasting is good. So reduce weight. Yeah, fasting reduces weight, but again, there's for long periods of time you cannot hold it. In some point of time, you'll have to break fasting. If you are doing 16-hour fasting or 18-hour fasting, in IFT they are doing up to 18 hours fasting. So you cannot be in a artificial diet for long duration of time. You cannot hold it. So one time you will break it, and then you will be bouncing back. So I don't recommend traditionally in a week or in some occasions we do fasting. That's good. It's okay to detoxify our body. But again, don't go for fasting diets. Be in balanced diets. The daily requisite of your body should be there, and it's the food which affects fat, which helps in getting fat in our body. We just avoid those. women tend to put weight on waist and tummy. How to address that? Yeah, that's a very good question. After puberty, the hormonal environment on women, basically, it helps to gain fat in the hip region. And depending upon the genetics, different lady gains fat in different region. Some gain fat on their legs, some on the buttocks, some on abdominal region, some maybe their arms are very flabby. So depending upon their genetical background, they get a fat. Again, for fat loss, as I said, it is 100% diet and 100% exercise. Exercise will make you fit. With only that you can reduce fat. If your input is equal to output, it will be same. If you are reducing your input and your output is more, then you will be losing fat. Then again, you will look very weak. That way, if you are losing fat, you will be looking weak, and you will not get strength to perform properly. Your body will not get proper fuel. So I recommend you check your diet and regular exercise. You make your lifestyle as a whole healthy. Then this fat problem will be not there. Zumba is known to be a form of cardio exercise, and it is trending nowadays. Please enlighten us about it. Yes, Zumba, and then came Bokwa. There are two styles. First, Zumba dominated the market. Then they have told that they have found those Bokwa thing. So the thing is, these are dance forms. All the people like dancing. So dancing burns calorie. Whether you do Bokwa or you just play music and you dance at your home, or you be dancing your traditional dances. In our India, there are a lot of traditional dances in different part of India. So if you are dancing your traditional dance also, it will burn fat. But they are commercializing it as a Zumba. So I don't criticize them, but again, it's good idea. If you are not finding any time, you can have you can dance. And if you are having affinity towards dancing, then it's good because it will recreate you. It will give you emotional happiness. So it's good. But again, that is one type of exercise where all the body parts are not used equally. First thing. Second thing, you cannot strengthen some special muscles. As a whole, you can burn a huge lot of calorie. But again, maybe your all ligaments are not touched. Your all body muscles are not toned up. For dinner, either rice or wheat, which one is good? This is a question in inbox. For dinner, see, traditionally it is there. We should do a light dinner. Maybe to do a light dinner, the pre-meal, that if you go back, the last meal, that should be little bit heavy. So I suggest that dinner should be light enough, and if you have some target to lose weight, you should curtail calorie on your dinner. It's the best time to curtail calorie, because after dinner you'll be sitting lazily, you'll be reading, or you will be preparing for next day's class, or you will be looking up your TV, or you are chatting with your family members. After that, you will go to bed, and next 6 to 8 hours you will be sleep. That time your calorie burning capacity of the body comes to basal metabolic rate. So there is very few calories required during that period. So I suggest you a pyramid style of diet, where breakfast, not quantitatively but qualitatively, it should be heavy. Then lunch, then again evening, you reduce calories, somewhat calorie in the evening, and as far as you can, you do early lunch. Maybe you can introduce one bedtime meal, healthy snacks or low calorie snacks you can have, or salads you can have before bedtime. If your gastric is not triggered, maybe boil one bowl stew type of vegetable boil you can have before bedtime, maybe 1 hour before. But you should try to do your dinner as early as possible. That's the main thing. Women tend to put on weight. Insert Zumba, okay. Insert dinner, okay. Please give some schedule of exercise for gym beginners. See, gym beginners. This is a good question. Gym beginners, I suggest full body workout. You choose one equipment. There will be equipments, lot of equipments for each body part. You should choose simplest form of exercise for chest, simplest form of exercise for back, for your arms, for your legs. You choose equipments and do. First, you start with one set of each, full body 1 round. Again, if you can, you do 2 rounds. Initially, you should start for, that's the starting point. And then you can combine lot of machines and dumbbells and barbell weights. You can make a combination afterwards, but initially that you can do. Okay, sir. Okay, then I think our time is over. Today's time is over. Okay. So thank you very much, everybody, for cooperating in this 4 days time. Maybe I again inspire you to start any kind of physical activity as early as possible, because if people are teaching, if people are involved in teaching, and it's a very very respectable thing, but you should care your health also. This is prime interest. You should give focus on that, because health is there. You can teach whole your life, but you should spare some time for your health. And thank you very much for today. This much is thank you.